Howdy folks, welcome to part 37 of Pokemon Crystal. We have just entered Blackthorn City from the end of the ice path. The ice path leads directly into Blackthorn City. Blackthorn City is the last town, the location of the final gym badge in Johto. We only have one badge left, guys. Now, I fly to Goldenrod to get some TMs, because as I was going to mention in the previous part, the most recent Pokemon I caught was in the previous part, and that was Delibird. Now, Delibird gets a lot of hate, and I don't really understand it. I can understand it as far as how good it is in combat, though. See, one of the big problems with Delibird is the only move that it naturally learns and knows is a move called Present. Present is not a good move by any means. It is more of a comedic move, which Delibird is more of a comedic Pokemon than anything. It is not an amazing Pokemon by any means, but come on, it's a Santa Claus penguin. Anyway, it is Ice/Flying type, and I could swear for the life of me during this recording that Delibird could learn Ice Punch. I seriously could have sworn that it could, but apparently I was wrong. I haven't actually looked up. Maybe it can learn it in a later version, but I could swear that it could learn Ice Punch. Now this kind of threw a bit of a hindrance, like a bit of a kink into my plan for Delibird. Not too badly though, because Delibird can learn Icy Wind. It can also learn Blizzard. I don't know if there's actually a TM for it, but it can learn Ice Beam as well, if there is. I also taught it Headbutt, and I'm going to teach it, or I already did teach it. I taught it the move Fly, because, well, it's Flying/Ice type. That's the best flying move that I can teach it. And Fly's actually not that bad of a move. You know, most of the HMs are pretty shitty, and admittedly, Fly's not the best. Fly is definitely not the best. The best HM, I think it's pretty safe to say, is Surf. The second best in battle at least, I would have to say is probably Strength. Strength, a lot of people hate it, but it is an 80 power attack. That's only 5 less than Body Slam, guys. It's not terrible by any means. And then Fly's probably somewhere in the middle. Since Delibird cannot learn any moves other than Present, which I haven't even described what Present does yet, have I? But because of that, you're going to want to teach it TMs and HMs. These are the ones I went with, and you'll notice that the time of the day just magically transformed there. That's because I cut out like 5 minutes of me just bullshitting around. I didn't do anything during them, and by the time I was done, it was morning. Anyway, I stock up on Ultra Balls because there is still one more member of the team that I need to catch, and that's going to happen in this part. Before we get to that, though, what Present does, the move that I keep talking about for Delibird, but I still haven't explained it. Present has a chance of either damaging an opponent for, I don't know if it's mega damage, but it's okay damage. Or maybe there's varying damage amounts. I'm not 100% positive. But it either has a chance of damaging an opponent by they throw a fucking present at them and then it can explode and damage the enemy. Again, it's meant to be a comedic move more than anything. But the other thing it can do is that it can heal whatever Pokemon it gets used on. So there's always that chance that you're going to heal them. And so that's why Present's a pretty shitty move. And that's the only move that Delibird learns, naturally. Anywho, that's why you want to teach it TMs and HMs. Anywho, after walking back and forth for like 20 to 30 seconds, I encounter the final member of our team, Skarmory. The Steel/Flying type Pokemon. This Pokemon, on the other hand, is fucking phenomenal. I love Delibird just because how over the top it is, and it's actually a lot better than people give it, than the kind of crap people give it. It's actually a lot better, and we'll see that during the playthrough. But Skarmory, on the other hand, is one that's always been loved, and It utilizes two of my three favorite types. My favorite type in all of Pokemon is water. This should be nothing new to any of you guys. I've only said it a million times. My second favorite is flying. I absolutely love flying Pokemon. I think it's because of the speed or the fact that they fly. I don't know, something about them. I love flying Pokemon. My third favorite is Steel type. And again, I actually didn't realize this until, frick, it must have been about a year ago. I realized there are so many more Steel type Pokemon that I love than what I used to consider my third favorite, which is Ground. So Skarmory actually has two of my three favorite types. If there could be a triple typed Pokemon, I would want it to be Water, Steel, and Flying. Also, as you can see, Skarmory is actually relatively tough. See, Skarmory's not the fastest. It has okay physical attack. Special defense is not very good at all. Special attack isn't good, but that doesn't fucking matter. You're never going to use it. You're never going to use its special attack. The thing that makes it shine is its physical defense. It has one of the highest physical defense amounts in Gen 2. And honestly, I even think in Gen 3 as well. And so, it's a very good defensive Pokemon. And if you know how to use it, it can tear the game up pretty damn bad. Anyway, because it's so defensive, I'm really not wanting to use Icy Wind with Delibird here, because I just know that's going to knock it out. So I figure, you know what, it's paralyzed, it's almost in the red, fuck it, let's throw the ball, maybe I'll catch it. Fuck. And of course I don't. I mean, that's always my luck. Anytime I take a gamble like this, that's always my luck. So let's try again. Shit! See? Always my luck. Oh, also, there's like no chance I'm ever gonna hit the fucking thing anymore since it's used Sand Attack like 8 times or some shit like that. I'm exaggerating, you can only use it 6 before it stops working, but still, you get what I mean. Oh, there you go. 6 times. Alright, will I catch it this time? Shit! They're really not... Oh. That was weird. They're really not this hard to catch. They really aren't as hard as what the game's making it seem like. So for those of you playing Pokemon Gold, unfortunately you cannot get Skarmory. I know. It sucks, but that's the way it is. Instead, you get the option to get Teddiursa, another member of my team. And I know what you're thinking. Holy shit, you can get Skarmory and Teddiursa in the same game? Holy shit. And it is pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie. However, though, you may not believe me on this, but you're actually going to miss out on some of the more common Pokemon that I cannot believe are not available in Crystal. What Pokemon am I referring to? Well, off the top of my head, Mareep. You cannot capture Mareep in Pokemon Crystal. I know, how fucked up is that? It's very similar to something I learned not too long ago about Pokemon Emerald, in that you can't capture Roselia in Pokemon Emerald. You can get it in both Sapphire and Ruby. Emerald, though, no. Mind-boggling. It's like, what the fuck? But hey, I'd much rather trade Mareep for friggin' Teddiursa and Skarmory. And damn, I'm just having a terrible time capturing this. I swear to God, it's not usually this hard to catch. Teddiursa's way worse to try and capture than Skarmory. Ah, but finally, after what, like 10 balls, I finally caught one. Huzzah. Well, awesome! If it sheds its feathers, then that means I can have 3 friggin' swords. Ah, jeez. You know, you'd actually be surprised how many fucked up Pokedex entries there are in these games. No, I'm serious. Have you ever actually gone through and read every Pokedex entry? There are a lot of really fucked up ones. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I mentioned in the previous part, I'm coming off of 2 all-nighters working on this shit. Anyway, so my commentary's probably not the best. I'm probably really loopy. Anyway, we've now captured everybody in our team that I'm planning on using. It is time now for us to take on the 8th gym. You know, that trainer occasionally blocks the entrance to the 8th gym. I cannot remember what event you have to go through before he'll move. I swear it's not the rocket radio tower. I swear that's not it. It's gotta be something else that I'm just not thinking of. Anywho, it's time for us to take on, or begin to take on, the 8th gym. And no, your eyes do not deceive you. The first trainer, as you enter the gym, is using a friggin' level 34 Dratini. I mentioned a little while ago there's a difficulty spike in the game. This is where I'm referring to. Okay. Level 34. Alright, that is higher than the 7th gym leader's strongest Pokemon. Also, they're all dragon types here. Well, that's not true. That's not true, but most of them are dragon types. Dragon types only have 2 weaknesses. Dragon, which there are only 2 dragon type attacks that don't do a set amount of damage. Or no, I'm wrong. There's 3. There's 3. I forgot about Twister. I always forget Twister because it's like the piece of shit dragon move. So there are 3. Not that it matters, because I don't think you can get a dragon Pokemon by now unless you're trading. Or maybe you can get one from Goldenrod to, like, the Goldenrod, Game Center. Oh. I apologize. Anyway. Dragon-type Pokemon only have 2 weaknesses. The first of which is Dragon-type. Yes, they're weak to themselves. They're just like Ghost-type Pokemon. They often get overlooked in this factor. Like, people often tend to forget that Ghost-type Pokemon are kind of the same deal in that they're strong against themselves. But anyway, the other type they're weak against is Ice, which is the only reason I can fathom for why they put the Ice path right next to this town, because they knew that you were going to have a bitch of a time against these things. So some types that are not very effective against Dragon: Fire, Grass, Water, Electric. Those are like the big 4 that I can remember, but I think Bug isn't very effective either. Not that that matters. But yeah, they have a lot of strengths and very few weaknesses. Dragon-type Pokemon are really fucking good. They really are. So my secret weapon was intended to be Delibird for this gym. However, luckily Quagsire is a beast of a Pokemon. Holy shit, it really does not get anywhere near the credit that it should. For Gen 2 at least, it doesn't get anywhere near the credit it should. Surf, Amnesia, Earthquake, Ice Punch. My favorite moveset for Quagsire in Gen 2. Now what's really, and I do mean really annoying about pretty much every trainer in here, I believe, is that almost every single Pokemon you're going to battle knows the move Dragon Rage. Dragon Rage always does 40 damage, no matter what. Now, as you get into higher levels, this is actually pretty shitty, but where we're at right now, that's pretty overpowered. Anyway, stay tuned for part 38, where we continue to take on the Blackthorn or Blackhorn, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, City Gym. I'll see you guys then.